Hello?
Hi.
Hi,
Is this Carl?
this is.
How are you doing, Mr. Wentworth?
I'm doing okay. How are you today?
I'm excellent. I'm honored to be talking to you today.
Wow. Well, I'm just Carl.
Well, I want to talk about this amazing thing that you have done. And we'll just start out with, tell me a little bit about the Walking for Heroes that you've just accomplished.
Well, I started out November 11th from Castle Island, Boston, Massachusetts, and my plan was just to get up and walk west, but my father, retired Army sergeant, 22 years, a tour in Korea, 3 in Vietnam. He's buried out on Long Island, Pine Lawn, Long Island National, and I visited his grave out there, and after walking in, taking pictures of that cemetery, I figured, because it was snowing, I'd walk south to Arlington National and maybe get out of the weather a little bit, and I could take some pictures of Arlington, and I guess that didn't work out too good for me. When I got down to Arlington, it was still snowing.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I reached D.C. in the snow, and so I visited Arlington National, and I figured I'd just keep going south and try to get out of the weather, and the weather actually, kept snowing on me. Every state snowed on me right up until Georgia.
Well, we were glad you came. So,
yeah, so am I. It's a great place.
Thank you.
Georgia is definitely a peach.
Thank you. And so you met a real good friend of ours that we share in Georgia.
John.
Yes.
Well, John is absolutely amazing. I mean, if I don't even know what to say.
I have to agree.
I know if I didn't meet him, I don't know if I would have made this. He made my life easy after meeting him. He called hotels and places to eat and towns, and that was just absolutely amazing.
That's how we kept up with you through John's Facebook posts, and we knew what was going on.
Okay.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was, yeah, boy, if you told me I was coming down to Georgia when I left, I would have said you're out of your mind. There's no way I'm going to go down that far.
I love your Boston accent. That's awesome. So when you started out, though, you, like you said, you really had no idea that you were going to be coming down here, right?
I didn't. Like I said, the weather was so bad. It snowed on me in every single state, right up to Georgia. So, coming down the East Coast was kind of brutal, and I didn't really have any, not too much news coverage, or, not too many people were helping me. I most of the time I pitched my tent, and I've slept in laundromats, and, put my head down in tables at McDonald's, and so, when I met John, he started getting me hotels and calling ahead to towns, and that made it a little easier. I didn't even really, I definitely didn't think this through, and.
Well, we're glad that you did come down through here. Tell us exactly why you decided to start walking in the first place.
Well, like I said, my father retired staff sergeant for the Army. 22 years he served, and did a tour in Korea, 3 in Vietnam. Growing up with him.
So you did it to start out honoring your father? For
Well, pretty much, yeah, because he as far back as I can remember, I had my own little uniform. I remember going to work with him at Fort Riley, Kansas, when I was 4 years old. And the way he brought me up, freedom's not free. You always respect the soldier and, honor the flag. And, when he died, I had a hard time getting him buried properly. I had to fight with the Army. The Army didn't want to bury him properly, and they told me they couldn't do the full burial detail because Fort Devens had closed.
Oh.
And that I needed to call the VFWs. So when I called the VFWs in Massachusetts, they told me they couldn't do it because they couldn't bring their guns over the line because he was being buried in New York. And when I called New York VFWs, they told me they couldn't do it because he was from Massachusetts.
Oh, no.
So, thank God my Uncle Eddie, who was and he was in the service as well, he told me, you need to call the Army and just don't take no for an answer and just keep asking for the next in chain of command. So that's what I did, and got on the phone with them and wouldn't take no, and I believe I got all the way to a general before they gave me the okay that they were going to do it.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, but your persistence paid off then.
Yeah, that I remember my father telling me, about a week before he died, the Army owes me full burial detail, and he goes, I know I'm not going to get it. I don't really, but that played in my head, after he passed, because he passed so soon to that, and I'd be damned if I was going to put him in the ground just without honoring what he had done.
Absolutely.
And he's a hero. A tour in Korea, 3 in Vietnam, 2 Bronze Stars. The guy was amazing.
And that's what encouraged you to do the walk for heroes that deserved the recognition that they might not get otherwise?
Yeah, well, I ran my own business up in Massachusetts, roofing, carpentry, handyman. I could do anything. I did anything. I'd see the homeless on the side of the road, with their signs, Vietnam vet, and I would pull over and ask them. I'd be like, "Come on, man, you're a Vietnam vet, and the Army ain't taking care of you," because I remember my father. He got a retirement check every month, and we lived all right, but there's some out there, they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, I get a $600 a month check, and my rent is $700.
Wow.
If I don't stand out here and ask for dollars, I don't eat. And that was pretty sad, and so
that is
I have a lot of family members that served. I have a cousin that did two tours in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan. I have a nephew that did a tour in Iraq, and I have uncles, Korea, Vietnam. It's just there's a lot of military in my family, and go ahead.
Have you talked to any of them, and what have they said about your Walk for Heroes?
Oh, well, they're on my page. They're on the Walking for Heroes page, and they supported me right along. And my cousin Jimmy was there, and talked to me when I needed the help, and and my nephew Maki there to kick me in the butt, if you will, and tell me to get it moving and get it done. And that was nice.
Yeah.
My family supports me.
Oh, that's great. You're such an inspirational story. How long did it take you to get to Los Angeles?
Well, I left on November 11th, and I got there August 30th. So,
wow.
A little over 9.5 months. It was.
So what was it like seeing all of the country?
Well, it was kind of brutal, to be honest. I think, I met a lot of amazing people along the way, and, I'll never forget them. And without their help, I never would have made it. But, the flip side of that is, there's a lot of people out there that are in just too much of a hurry, and they wouldn't even talk to me or give me dirty looks because, I guess, pushing the cart, and, technically I was homeless, but, trying to do this for a cause, and people can be mean sometimes, and they just don't, they're too quick to judge, and to me that was the saddest thing about the walk, because, there's a lot of veterans that I walk by that I pitch my tent right next to and ate off the food trucks with, and these soldiers are heroes, man. They're war heroes, and we just walk right by them every day,
and that's so sad.
I think we need to slow down and recognize them, and they're the backbone of this country, man. They need to be. We need to show them that we appreciate what they did, and to be honest, I don't think any soldier serving this country should ever go hungry.
I agree.
Or wonder where he's going to put his head at night.
Well, Carl, your walk is inspirational, and we really want to thank you for bringing attention to something that really shouldn't have been forgotten in the first place.
So that's so true, and they're still dying. They're still dying every day. Look what's going on in this world, and with ISIS and everything like that, it doesn't look like war's going to be stopping anytime soon. And our sons and daughters, our brothers and sisters, and our mothers and fathers, they're still fighting. They're still dying. And
even when they get home, the war's not over for them. They have to fight to survive, which is very, very sad.
Well, I guess it's getting better, with, I got to welcome home a soldier in Amarillo when I walked through Texas. America Supports You, Texas, brought me to the airport, and I got to welcome home this sergeant coming home from Afghanistan, and that was just absolutely amazing to be a part of. And I've met a lot of veterans that never received that, and I met a guy on, right at the end of my walk. I had already finished. It was the next day, and I was walking back to my room. I'd just gone to the store, and he's sitting on a bench, and I didn't know he was a soldier, and he's sitting there folding his clothes and his backpack that he's carrying around, and I asked him if I could help him, and he was very grateful and said, please, any help would be nice, and I handed him a little money, and I went to walk away, and before I did, I said, you wouldn't happen to be a veteran, would you? And he goes, yeah, I'm a Marine, USMC. I served in Vietnam.
Oh, my goodness.
And, I shook his hand, and I said thank you to him, and he says, we never got that. Today they come home, and they're all heroes, and, when I came home, we were baby killers, and we got spit on, and that's just that's as sad as it comes. It
really is.
Seeing this guy on the side of the road, a Marine who fought in Vietnam. There's got to be a place for him. I walked across this country, and there's so many houses that are just vacant, and I don't know. We need to do more. We need to do more for them. There's got to be, maybe someone smarter than me can change something. I just wanted to open up some eyes, but I'm told that the empty houses in this country outnumber the homeless.
I agree. I agree with that. It seems like we could do something. Carl, thank you so much for doing what you did. And do you plan to do it again?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it again like I did because, to be honest, walking into a town and being treated like that, with the dirty looks and getting kicked out of McDonald's and Waffle Houses, and I'm like, really? This is your country too.
Yes.
And shame on you. And I wouldn't do it again unless I had, a corporate behind me and cameras running. And I tell you what, if there was cameras and stuff like that, people would slow down, and then they'd listen. But that's just because they see the camera and they go, "Oh, what's going on over there?"
Yeah.
But if I had someone behind me, I mean, this walk was, for me, a walk of faith. And, I never would have did it. I never could have been able to do it if I didn't have the help of all the amazing people that I met along the way. I prayed. I prayed every step of the way. And let me tell you, the good Lord put the right people in my path at the right time.
Yes, He did.
And, so my faith is strengthened, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure if I did it again, the good Lord would take care of me and help me get through it again. But I don't think I'd want to do it like that again. But if they wanted to do a TV show or something like that and document the walk, and because I know that it would open up so many more eyes, I would do it again. But other than that, no way.
I would love to see you do a show like that. That way, people would tune in and see every day. Like I said, we kept up with you through Facebook. Our friend John would post, and there would be frustrating posts where he would talk about how no one would help, and then there would be uplifting posts where someone would finally get it and realize what you're doing, and then show their appreciation. So I would love to see you have a show.
Most of the people that help me, they have, when he called to hotels and whatever restaurants, these general managers that helped, it seemed to me that they all had someone in the military. Whether it was a son or a father, these are the people that went above and beyond and really helped out. I'm sure there's some out there that, I don't know. I thought we all had someone in our family that served, but some people just don't care, and it's like, well, what's in it? Why should I help you?
Yes.
Why should I give you? And like some of these bigger hotels, not like they're going to lose any money by giving me a room. I mean, it's tough to walk 3-4 days. With no shower. It's tough to get people to smile for a picture when you stink.
Yeah. I can imagine. I'm sorry. Yes.
So, it's, I mean, thank God that, I met John, and I never would have thought, oh man, let me call ahead and see if I can get, these towns involved. And I've walked through a lot of towns, and even with him calling, it's just, a lot of them just like, yeah, we're just too busy. We can't help you.
Aww.
It's just, a lot of towns only had, maybe 1 or 2 hotels, and being owned by foreigners, they don't, what do I care? What do I care about you? What, you know what I mean? I want my money.
Yeah.
Which is,
so sad.
Understandable. I mean, I want to work and get paid too, but it's, when I started out, I really thought that, a corporate would jump on board, Timbaland Boo, Dr. Scholes, McDonald's or
Yes.
Burger King. You know how many dollar burgers I ate along the way? It's absolutely sickening. I
can
gained 20
imagine.
pounds. I gained 20 pounds. I walked 5,000 miles and gained 20 pounds.
I'm not laughing, but I can see why we eat McDonald's burgers every day.
Right. I mean, a lot of it turned into, muscle, but I'm sure,
Uh-huh.
but, I would have thought that, they would jump on board and go,
Uh-huh.
wow, this is a great story. It's free publicity.
Uh-huh.
McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar company,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cost them nothing to get behind me,
Yes.
and it just opens up so many eyes, and they have the money to
Uh-huh.
not even worry about a few dollars here and there, and it just, like I said, it would have been free publicity, and for me it would have helped me to open up more eyes.
Absolutely.
I watched YouTube, and they had this doggy break thing on. This dog runs across the yard, spreads its hind legs, and they called it doggy breaks. The thing went viral overnight. It had 1 million hits.
Mm-hmm.
I walked from Boston down to Atlanta, all the way to Los Angeles, and I got 7,500.
Uh-huh.
To me, something's wrong there.
I agree. I agree fully.
It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
It is. Well, we're glad that you took the initiative, though, to do it, because we need more people like you standing up for, say, hey, this is what's going on, and we need to honor these folks, and we need more people like you that's willing to stand up.
I talked to a lot of people. I stayed in touch with a lot of people along the way, and like I said, the good Lord put the right people in front of me at the right time, things I needed to hear, and stuff like that. My cousin Don. I talked with him one day, and I'll never forget what he said. He said, Carl, if we all do just a little bit, then a lot would get done.
That's so true.
It is. It's so true, and it's not even much. I walk along and I see these veterans. I mean, I got pictures of thousands of them on the page, and they're not hard to find.
Yeah,
they're all around us,
Mm-hmm.
and a simple thank you, and it makes their day.
Yeah.
But we still need to do more. They shouldn't be out on the street hungry and
Mm-hmm.
homeless. That's for sure. We need to do more for our vets.
I agree fully. Well, Carl, thank you so much for talking with me. How long are you going to be in Georgia?
I think maybe just till Monday, and then I'll go home and see my family.
Uh-huh.
I miss my family, and like I said, they've all been behind me and supported me throughout this. So it'd be nice to you don't really. There's a lot that you don't really get to see on a regular basis, and maybe when I get home, I can get them all together, and we can just catch up.
Yeah. Well, thank you again so much. Just wow, what you've done with the Walking for Heroes and walking from Boston down to Atlanta all the way to Los Angeles, and for just a great cause of recognizing our heroes, our military vets. Thank you so much, Carl.
God bless them all.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye.